Hi, I'm Russ Larsen, and today we're going to talk about fittings and where they're used on the various systems. We're going to go over which fittings are used on the compressor hose, the regulator, your engraving system, and your ParaBlaster. First, let's just do a quick run through of the different fittings that are used on the different systems. First, right here we have a 2042 fitting. This fitting has a barb here, a 1/4 inch barb, and it's the female coupler. The only place this is used is on the end of the compressor hose right here. If you order this fitting, you also get a ferrule with it. The ferrule goes over the hose and then it's crimped on the hose. You do need a special tool to crimp this on the hose, or you could have a hose place crimp it on there for you. But the only place this fitting is used is on the end of the compressor hose, and it comes on the end of your compressor hose when you buy your system already. The other end of the compressor hose is just a female 1/4 inch pipe swivel. Again, that's already on the end of your compressor hose when you order it. If you wanted to turn the compressor hose into a quick connect on both ends, you need the 2402 fitting. The 2402 fitting is a 1/4 inch pipe thread on the one end by the female coupler, quick connect coupler on the other end. This fitting will screw right onto the other end of your compressor hose, allowing you to turn your compressor hose in to a quick connect on both ends. So again, this fitting just threads onto the female pipe swivel end of your compressor hose. Next we have our push to connect fittings. Push to connect fittings were just used with the 1/4 inch tubing, mostly used on the ParaBlaster and the desiccant filter. And we push the hose in here and it locks. We then pull the ring back and slide our tubing out to get the hose out. Again, we have it in 1/4 inch pipe, and we also have it in 1/8 inch pipe thread. The tubing ends are the same. The only thing that's different is the size of the threads. Let's move on to our male quick connect. The male quick connect is the fitting that couplers with the female quick connect. We just slide the ring back, push it in, and it connects there. It's locked into place. Slide the ring back with our fingers, undo that, pull it apart, and it easily comes apart. Again, two different sizes, 1/8 inch pipe and 1/4 inch pipe. 1/8 inch pipe is a 22-2, mostly used right here on the regulator. That's the 22-2 1/8 inch male quick connect. The only place we use the the 1/4 inch male, again, we could adapt it on the end of our compressor hose, or if you happen to have a regulator that had 1/4 inch fittings, you could use the 1/4 inch pipe male on that one also. But if you bought a Profitable Hobbies regulator, it's the smaller, the 1/8 inch quick connect, the 22-2 that goes on the regulator. So those are the two male quick connects. Next, let's move on to the barb fittings. Again, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch pipe. 1/8 inch pipe is used here on the end of your lubricator on your regulator. The 1/4 inch pipe can be adapted to your compressor hose again, or it's most commonly used on the bottom of the ParaBlaster pressure pot. This is the fitting that wears out as the sand travels through it on the bottom of your pressure pot. Now we'll move on to the different nipples. We offer a 1/4 inch pipe nipple and an 1/8 inch nipple. The 1/8 inch nipple is used to connect your lubricator to your regulator right here in the middle. That's really the only place that I can think of we use that. The 1/4 inch quick connect, again, would come back to our compressor hose if we were trying to adapt the compressor hose to a different fitting, or if we happen to have a regulator with a 1/4 inch pipe fittings on it, we could use that nipple to adapt. I'm just going to use a dollar bill for this size comparison so you can see how the different fittings compare. The 1/4 inch one is actually almost a 1/2 inch if you measured it across. People get confused because this doesn't mean it's a 1/2 inch thread, it's a 1/4 inch pipe thread. Hopefully you can see on this dollar bill the difference in size. The 1/8 inch, a lot of times people will call a 1/4 inch, because if you measure it across, it's about a 1/4 inch, but it's an 1/8 inch pipe thread. So let's quickly take a look at the fittings used on the filter regulator lubricator. On this side we have an 1/8 barb to 1/8 pipe fitting. This is where our clear tubing comes out. It's right here on the end of the lubricator. 1/8 inch pipe nipple goes in between them to connect the two. And we have the 22-2, which is our Mel Quick Connect by 1/8 pipe right here on the end of the filter regulator. Quickly taking a look at the fittings on the end of the compressor hose. When the hose gets to you, it has the female Quick Connect on the one end, a 1/4 inch female swivel pipe thread on the other end. The Quick Connect is designed to go right onto the Quick Connect on the regulator. The other end with the female pipe thread connects to your compressor. Now we use a 1/4 inch pipe thread here, but your compressor, depending on which compressor you buy, could have different fittings. This is a very standard fitting. The 2402 fitting will connect right onto that and allow you to turn it into another Quick Connect in case you haven't want to use Quick Connects on your compressor. We could use a 1/4 inch nipple, which will come thread onto here, and most compressors either come with 1/4 inch female or male. So usually if you run into having two female fittings, one on your compressor hose and one on your compressor, you need a 1/4 inch male nipple, 1/4 inch male pipe nipple to connect the two. If we had our compressor hose and we weren't using a regulator and we were going straight down to our handpiece, we don't recommend that, but you could. You would thread a 1/4 inch pipe by 1/8 barb on, then we could put our clear tubing on this and come right down to our handpiece. The fitting that comes on this end of the compressor hose over here is the 2042. Again, you need a special tool to crimp that, but some like to buy that fitting and put it on themselves, or if they want to make their own compressor hose, this is the fitting they normally use. So 1/4 inch threads are used on both ends of the compressor hose. Now let's take a quick look at the fittings used on the desiccant filter. We have our 1/8 inch pipe by 1/4 inch push to connect on this side. We put that into an adapter that adapts it up to 1/4 inch pipe to go in the in port. The reason why we do that is explained in the desiccant filter video. If you'll go to the desiccant filter page, there's a video there showing you why. It's so it can be adapted to your regulator for your engraver or your ParaBlaster. Using those two fittings allows us to adapt either way. The other side is the 1/4 inch Mel pipe by 1/4 inch push to connect. That's on the out port of the desiccant filter. So push it in and it locks, pull the ring back, and the tubing slides out. Simple as that. Now we're going to take a quick look at the fittings used on the pressure pot of the ParaBlaster. Where our compressor hose comes in, we have an 1/8 inch Mel pipe to Mel Quick Connect. It's the 22-2 fitting, same one that's on your regulator for your engraving system. It's right here on the front of the regulator where the compressor hose connects. In the back of the regulator, we have an 1/8 inch pipe thread to 1/4 inch push to connect that connects the back of our regulator to the tubing that comes up to the pressure pot lid. In the lid of the pressure pot, we have a 1/4 inch Mel pipe thread by 1/4 inch push to connect. Those are the fittings on the pot. On the bottom of the pot coming out, we have a 1/4 inch pipe thread by 1/8 inch barb. This fitting's the one where the sand exits the pot that wears out pretty commonly. Again, it's 1/4 inch pipe to 1/8 inch barb. So there you have a quick run through of the different fittings used on the different systems. An easy way to remember it maybe would be larger threads are 1/4 inch pipe, smaller threads are 1/8 inch pipe,